$7 million Carter on my neck. Woo, I'm feeling myself.
Now is the right time to sell that on Goldin. I'm not a reseller. I'm a collector. You are a crazy person.
Logan Paul featured in multiple episodes of King of Collectibles, the Goldin Touch this season. It follows Ken Goldin's ability to sell a wide variety of collectibles. Season 3 just dropped on Netflix. Each episode tells the stories behind some of the most unique items in the world of collecting. In addition to investing, Logan Paul has tens of millions of followers online. He's a YouTube star, professional wrestler, an entrepreneur, and a proud parent. With me now is Ken Goldin and Logan Paul. Welcome to The Story Is for the first time. Congrats on the new show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
All right, so we saw in there what was around Logan's neck, which is now, Ken, in your possession. Show us what we're talking about here.
So this is the most coveted trading card in the world, and it does come with the actual special necklace that Logan built for it. To explain the importance of this, as I show it, Pokemon is the world's largest franchise, bigger than Star Wars, bigger than Disney. And Pokemon cards have gone up crazy, even compared to sports cards over the past 20 years, beating the S&P by 3,000% as an example. This is the holy grail of all Pokemon cards. And when I say that, the Illustrator is the #1 card. It's the most sought after card in any grade. But what everybody really wants is a PSA 10. And this card is a one-of-one singular copy of the PSA 10. So it is the most popular card in all of Pokemon, the most well-known because it's the Holy Grail, and it's the only one graded a 10. Logan bought it about 3 years ago for $5.3 million, and the market has probably gone up 3 to 4 times since he made that purchase. So I'm very pumped to have this and have it, not just part of the show, but like literally we did a live transaction right on the show, and it's going to be coming up for auction in January, closing in February for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon.
That's so wild. And Logan, talk to us about when you sort of stopped seeing Pokemon as a hobby and started seeing it as an investment opportunity and your love of Pokemon.
So, dude, Pokemon is like one of the top 3 loves of my life. I have one tattoo on my body. It's a Squirtle. He's a water type starter Pokemon. And I got the tattoo before I started collecting the trading cards. When I realized that collecting the trading cards scratched that nostalgia itch for me because it was something I'm passionate about. I could make content out of it, which as a social media influencer, content creator is my job, and it's what I love to do. And it was a viable business model because this is an asset class that historically has generated a significant amount of returns. It completed what I like to call the trifecta, and it was the perfect industry for me to sink my teeth into. And I went all in 4 years ago by buying this card and set a Guinness World Record for the most expensive Pokemon card sale for $5.3 million because it really is the only one in the world.
And Logan, talk about the differential for Pokemon investment compared to even just the S&P 500.
Yeah, I mean, well, the numbers are staggering. As Ken said, in the past 20 years, Pokemon has outperformed the S&P 500 by upwards of 3,000%. These cards are appreciating like crazy. The market is hot. And while the stock market return on putting your money in a bank with interest, it can be a strategic conservative investment. There are ways to invest in asset classes that may mean a little more to you and have a higher potential of generating returns.
So Ken, when do you know now is the right time to sell? Because obviously that can be a tricky strategic decision. And that's something people come to you for.
Yeah, I mean, look, no, as they say, nobody rings a bell at the bottom and nobody rings a bell at the top. And, I don't think, we're at a top. I think that there's so much money coming into all of these collectibles that, we're going to have a very nice long run. But to me, you always want to be a seller when the market is good, when there's an appetite for it, when you see people spending significant sums of dollars on trading cards. You know, if he came to me 6 months later and said, I'm ready to sell it now, you know, he might have missed the optimal time.
Yeah, well, there's almost nobody in the world better at promoting and marketing than Logan Paul. Congratulations on that. Maybe either you or your brother, maybe one of the two. We just saw you guys this weekend. Obviously, the big fight. He went up against, Anthony Joshua, who is significantly bigger, broke his jaw in a couple places, gave a real valiant effort. We saw you right there ringside. We saw you in the hospital with him afterwards. What was that experience like for you? Take us sort of inside that day.
Yeah, man. Being Jake Paul's brother is truly my greatest blessing in life. I think he's just an amazing entertainer and showman. And I was sitting ringside watching this fight as close as anyone could be. And I truly couldn't believe what I was watching, because you have this kid who was born and raised in Ohio, was an absolute delinquent, like a failure on paper, 1.6 GPA. My mom's laughing in the background. I'm just dogging on him. But this kid, nothing about who he was showed who he could become. And all of a sudden, he's boxing a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, an Olympic gold medalist who's 6 inches taller and 50 pounds heavier than him. And like, oh my gosh, it's round 2. That was 3. Now it's 4. Holy crap, he's in the 6th round. But damn, he's getting tired. It wasn't fair. It's simply not a fair fight. I don't know how you can put it otherwise. He bit off more than he could chew, and he broke his jaw.
And how's he feeling?
He's feeling good. His jaw hurts a little bit. He said it was like there was a baseball in there, but he's feeling good, man. His spirit is absolutely incredible. It's unbreakable. You can break his jaw, but you can't break his spirit, as I said on my Instagram post.
Yeah, and you've got quite the spirit also when we see you in the wrestling ring. I'm wondering, Ken, when you see his wrestling moves, are you intimidated to not do a bad deal or anything with him because you know that he could take you down?
Look, I know Logan's going to do a good deal. I mean, obviously, the first time I saw him wrestle, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe how athletic and how much training that he had to put into that to be able to perform and do the athletic moves and the wrestling moves that he does in the ring. He has a vision, and he's an expert at what he does. And he was a pioneer in social media. So people look at him and go, oh, he's goofball, he's this, he's that. No, he's friggin' smart, and he's got a good business mind on him. And I love working with him. Honestly, out of everybody I have in the shows, I mean, I've got some longtime friends, but he is such an engaging personality. And you ask him about collectibles, he can talk for hours without me saying a word.
And lastly, Logan, sounds like your mom's in the background, maybe a dog in the background as well. You also are so proud of being a father and a husband. And this year, if they want to give a little cameo, that's fine. Hi there. Hi, Mom. How are you doing?
Hi.
Talk about your pride in your son.
Oh my gosh, I could go on for hours too. Like, he can talk about Pokemon. I can talk about the pride in my son, Logan. He is incredible. He always has been. He was incredible when he was younger, and he's just built his career.
It's too much gassing up between her and Ken, guys. I can't handle it. because I gotta stay humble. I gotta you know me in WWE is most humble. I gotta stay humble.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Logan, how has fatherhood changed you?
I think I'm a little safer and a little softer with my decisions in life.
Well, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Clearly, the celebration's already begun. Congratulations, Ken, on the new show. Reminder, everybody, that show, King of Collectibles, The Goldin Touch, is now streaming on Netflix. And best of luck with that auction. We'll see what happens. Thank you both. Thank you both,
so
gentlemen. Really appreciate the time. We'll be back with more of The Story Is right after this.